Hello, Team Gerwell. You are flipping in fifth with me, Mrs. G. Today's topic and lesson are topic 4 and lesson 5. Our learning target today is, I will be able to divide 3-digit dividends by 1-digit divisors. Please be sure to pause the video so you can write down the entire learning target. Now today's vocabulary. We have 3 words, but I want you to write them small at the top of your vocab/notes portion because we have a lot to write down today. So our first vocabulary word is dividend. That is the number that is being divided. In this case, it's the 140, and it's positioned underneath the house in a long division problem. Our next word is divisor. That's the number by which the dividend is being divided. In our example here, that's the 2, and it's on the outside of the house. Our last vocabulary word for the day is quotient, and that is the answer to a division problem. Go ahead and pause the video so you can write down all of the vocab and the examples that go along with it. Welcome back. I also want you to write this under your notes category. It's just another way to help remember the different steps involved in long division. This is how I remember it. Does McDonald's serve cheeseburgers? No, I don't want you to research it and tell me whether they do or not. We're just going to use this to remember the steps in long division. So the does, the D stands for divide. McDonald's, the M stands for multiply. Serve, the S stands for subtract. Cheese, the C stands for check, and burgers, the B stands for bring down. Now this is another fun way to remember because anytime I can incorporate a song to help us remember math, we're going to do it. So I wanted you to see this example that some 5th graders in New York City did, and I want you to take really good notes because we are going to do a video very similar to this tomorrow in class. So here's a little sample.
Long division style. Division style. We learned this last year, but it's still a little fuzzy. We spent the last 3 weeks doing Common Core recovery. To make matters worse, they threw in decimals. I'm finding long division questionable. Running through the steps over and over in my head. I dream about the vision when I'm sleeping in my bed. The dividends on the inside and the divisors on the out. The quotient's what I need to figure out. First you divide, then multiply, then subtract. Bring it down. First you divide, then multiply, then subtract. Long division style. Division style. Long division style. Long. Hey, 622. Long division style. Hey, 624. Long. Decimal.
Isn't that awesome? I can totally see all of you acting out in a video like that I can show my class next year and years to come. So we'll hopefully practice that by jotting this down now. This is, of course, the chorus to that wonderful song. First you divide, then multiply, then subtract, bring it down. First you divide, then multiply, then subtract, bring it down. Repeat the steps until you get the right amount. Long division style. Okay, so we can clearly see why you're going to be doing the video and not me. Go ahead and stop the video now and make sure that you write down the lyrics so that we can practice it tomorrow in class. Okay, we're getting ready to move on in 3, 2, 1. So anytime I'm doing a long division problem, I always like to write down the steps at the top of my paper just to remind me. Divide, multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. So here in our first problem, we have 836 divided by 9. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the number in the highest place value, and in this case it would be the 8. So we have to think to ourselves, does 9 go into 8? And if so, how many times? Well, we know that 9 goes into 8 0 times because it's smaller than the 9. So then we're going to go over in the place value chart, and we're going to look at 83. And we have to decide, what is 83 divided by 9? In other words, how many times does 9 go into 83? Well, we know our multiplication facts, so we know that it's 9. So now we're going to multiply. 9 times 9 equals 81. Now we subtract, and that equals 2. Now is the 2 less than the 9? We're checking to make sure, and it is. So that means we can keep going by bringing down the 6. And now we start all over again. 26 divided by 9 is 2. 9 times 2 is 18. Now we subtract. It's 8. Is 8 less than 9? It is, but we can't keep going, so our 8 ends up being our remainder. That's the amount that's left over in a division problem. Let's try another one now. Here is 616 divided by 8. Go ahead and pause the video and try to do this one on your own, and then come back and check your work with mine. Okay, coming back in 3, 2, 1. We're going to start off with that 6 because it's our highest place value, and we know that 8 goes into 6 0 times. So now we're going to go over and we're going to look at the 61. 8 times 7 equals 56. So now we're going to subtract, and it's going to give us 5. Is 5 less than 8? It sure is, so that means it's time to bring down the 6. Now, 56 divided by 8, because we're starting all over again, so 56 divided by 8 equals 7. 8 times 7 equals 56. We subtract that, and we get 0. So we have a remainder of 0. Now, it is an important thing to note that when you're giving your answer to a long division problem, that even though you've put this 0 there, you're going to remove it if the quotient begins with a 0. And also, if the remainder is 0, we don't have to add that. We just have the answer as 77. Now you try. Here are your practice problems for the night. You have 4 of them. Be sure to pause the video, go through, show me the work, rewrite it under the house because that's the best way for you to do a division problem. And then you're going to check by multiplying. Remember, you could also check your multiplication by using digital root if you're still interested in doing that and practicing that. So for right now, pause the video and then come back and we'll check our answers. Okay, we're coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here are the answers to all of your practice problems. Number 1, the answer is 92, remainder 1. Number 2, the answer is 50 with a remainder of 6. Number 3, the answer is 70 with a remainder of 3. And number 4, the answer is 327. A little thing I want to caution you about. Sometimes when we're doing bigger numbers like this, you might be tempted to use a calculator. Well, when you're using long division or doing long division problems, a calculator cannot recognize remainders, so it won't give you necessarily the right answer. That's something you really need to worry about. So instead, you can always use the inverse operation to check. Remember, before you go, make sure you've checked your work and you write how many you got correct. Be honest, this is not for a grade, just so that I can help you best tomorrow in class. Also, honestly fill out that self-reflection. Could you teach a friend? Do you think you got it? Or do you have no idea what's going on? It's fine, however you're feeling, just be honest. And then fill in the space with any questions you may still have. Remember, write at least one question in this space, even if you don't have one. Maybe it's a question a friend might have. I hope you enjoyed long division and are looking forward to recording our song tomorrow. I'll see you in class. Have a great night.